I do the actual gold pour itself, the only thing I ask is if you can, please don't use a flash when you take pictures or video, just because it can be a little bit distracting when I do the pour. But other than that, I think we can get started. As I said before, this is the melt house. Now this is the room where they would have refined all the gold back in the day. You know, making it 99.99%. In fact, when they were refining gold in here, they actually had 15 furnaces that lined this wall. You can actually see that there used to be all these holes in the walls. Those then were exhaust flues that were powering the furnaces. The actual furnaces themselves were cloaked with fire furnaces. This one here, however, the one I'm going to be using today, is actually natural gas. It can actually reach temperatures of about 1200 degrees Celsius, which is very important because the melting point of gold is about 1063 degrees. But you might ask, well, Chris, why is there such a big difference in those two temperatures? The reason we set our furnace temperature so much higher, the melting point of gold, is so that it gives me about 40, 50 seconds to get the gold out of the furnace so that I can pour it into the bowl before it goes solid. If it hasn't had enough time to melt, or for whatever reason, the furnace has not reached that 1200 degrees Celsius, when it comes time to pour, you will see a very lumpy gold come out, and then it will spill, and we certainly don't want that to happen. So, that's why we do that. Speaking of the gold, however, the gold is currently inside the furnace. It's in this thing called a crucible. What is a crucible? Essentially like a little pot, much like this one. This crucible is made up of clay and graphite. It can withstand temperatures of up to 1600 degrees Celsius, so even hotter than what our furnace can reach. It costs about $110. They only last for around about 10 to 14 days. So this is what they go in looking like. This is what they come out looking like. As you can see, they deteriorate quite fast. The cool thing about these old crucibles is that gold specks get stuck and infused on the inside. So what we do is we send these off to the refinery. The refinery crush them down and try to extract all the gold from them to give back to us. We can probably get around about $600 worth of gold from each crucible, so it's very worthwhile doing. Normally these crucibles last for around about 10 days, like I said, and it's quite a simple process. We take out the old one, put a new one in. But sometimes we don't know when the crucible will fail, much like this example. I'm not sure if you can see that, that's a hole at the bottom of our crucible. Yeah, this happened probably about 12 months ago now. The issue with this one was that basically our gold pourer was taking it out of the furnace like he does in front of a live audience, much like this one today. And he noticed there was a little bit of gold coming out of the bottom. But he was a very experienced gold pourer, so all he had to do was put it back into the furnace and let it all come out and come to the bottom of the furnace. When it all set, it's actually quite funny because when it was all cold, it was set all hard. All we had to do was kind of fold it up. It was like this massive pancake. Just kind of folded it up, and then we had our gold again. So most of it got into the furnace, but obviously as you can imagine there was some on the floor. Hopefully that doesn't happen today. Let's cross our fingers for a nice gold pour. But just before I get stuck into the gold pour, I will describe what I'm wearing and also the general process of gold pour. But I'll start with what I've got on. At the bottom, I have steel cap boots. On top of those, I have these coverings. These coverings are called spats, simply designed so that if gold does fall on my foot, it rolls off instead of hurt my shoe. I'm also wearing flame retardant pants and synthetic shirt. More importantly, what goes on top of this synthetic shirt is an apron. This apron is very cool. It's layers. On the top is aluminium. That's designed to reflect the heat off my body. Underneath is pure merino wool. And sandwiched in between those two is something called Kevlar. Kevlar is used in racing cars, on space expeditions, and it's even used in bulletproof vests. So don't get any ideas. But what they used to wear, back in the old days, they used to wear leather aprons. Leather aprons were just these small leather gloves. Thankfully, safety got a bit better later on, and they upgraded their aprons to asbestos. Yeah, which is great for safety, but not so good for their health. But thankfully, I have this bulletproof apron today with all these layers, which I'm very grateful for. Other things I'm grateful for, gloves, which have also improved. So these ones go all the way up to my shoulder there. I will use these ones to get the gold out of the furnace. The other gloves I'll have are these blue leather gloves. Obviously, a little bit smaller. More importantly, they're more flexible. They have a bit more dexterity, and I use these ones to flip the gold out of the mold. Lastly, of course, I have visor to protect my face. Simply looking into the furnace is quite a task. It's quite hot, it's quite overwhelming. This here makes it bearable. Now I'll take you through the process. So like I said, when I get stuck into the gold wall, I will turn all the lights off. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Switch all the lights on. Then I'm going to turn on the furnace using this control panel. After which, I will walk over here and lift the lid up using this metal lever right here. After that, I will grab lifting tongs. Lifting tongs go inside the furnace, grab crucible, and we pop it onto this tray right here. After which, I will grab pouring tongs. Pouring tongs are a little bit different. They're held horizontally, starters, and they also have solid back and a hook at the top. All of this is designed to give me a bit of leverage as I lift the crucible and pour it into the mold. Speaking of mold, this one I've got here is an iron cast mold. Before you guys can meet me, I actually have it sitting on top of the lid. The reason I have it sitting on top of the lid is because if it's not heated up and I try to pour molten gold into it, there is a chance that it might explode. Not only that, but we do coat the inside of the mold with kerosene just so it doesn't stick. And if I don't put it on top of the lid and let that kerosene dry, then when I pour it into the mold, it's just going to flake. In fact, I did both of those things once a very long time ago. It was like pouring gold into fire, which made it look very cool. I won't be doing that again. So that's why I put it on top of the lid. Let's just say I've poured the gold into the mold, it's gone solid. What do we do next? Quite simply, we flip it onto this tray, then pop it into this vat of water I have here, so we can cool it down and touch it. As you can tell, it's a very difficult job, very dangerous job as well. So I might need a bit of inspiration, a bit of motivation to get through this gold pour. In fact, it is the first gold pour of the day, so maybe a little extra pour from you, the audience, a bit of energy coming from yourself. So if at all throughout the demonstration you wish to yell out some sort of positive